moving over to Raji's Cataclysm. What is up with this?
Alright, so you heard me talk about Wrath of the Lich King earlier when we started this out, and I said when Cataclysm was announced, everyone had already forgotten what Wrath did to the game. And, well, this just adds insult to injury, because Cataclysm has not shattered, but demolished Wrath of the Lich King sales record.
Really?
Yes. Cataclysm moved 3.3 million copies within its first day on the market. Wrath only sold 2.8 million copies when it's within the first 24 hours.
Now, my question is this. Did that demolish any records with... what was the highest... okay, so now it's Black Ops.
Black Ops is... There's no been record set for that because Black Ops is apparently the big suck-off because it sold 5.5 million copies within the within the 24 hours. But you gotta remember, that's multi-platform. WoW's only on one console and it's PC.
And that's an MMO, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's an MMO. If we were to take Call of Duty and make it a PC-only game and let it see how good it would sell, I don't think it would come close. I don't know, not at all.
Nah, I don't think it would either.
There's not enough Call of Duty stuff.
I think they need to put WoW on a console to take over the world. I really do.
I don't think so.
That's the idea that I do not want to happen because WoW on a console would suck.
No, I think it can be done. I think it can be done.
Because if you look at it, you have if you look at mods that are add-ons that are used for WoW, you have something like the thousands of commands at the bottom, thousands of buttons. Just to think that you could pull that off on a console is horrifying because that runs into the routes like, all right, you have to have a chat pad.
I think you could do it. I think you could do it. I really do. I think you could do it. What you do is you set the trigger buttons on the back of the PS3 and also the 360, and you could.
What am I talking about? Because they already got WoW on the Android, so
right. But I really think you could do it. But the way you got to do it is.
I beg your pardon?
Huh? Yeah, they got WoW on the Android now. Yeah, I showed it
WoW is on the Android now.
Yeah, I showed it. Well, it's a different way that you do it. You stream it through your Android. You still had to have a PC to do it, but you stream it through your Android. So.
Oh, okay. I was just going to say, I haven't heard of that one yet, but yeah.
So, like, the way you could do it is you could set to the back trigger buttons to flip through your spells and use, like, you know, your buttons on your, yeah.
I think a chat pad would work perfectly for that. Messenger pad?
Yeah, it would work, but you could go through and like
that way you don't go through like scroll. Where's it? Oh god, I missed it. Go back. Okay.
Yeah. So there you go. So there you go. WoW Cataclysm is taking over the world, and I'm not impressed. Which I don't care, man. I hate WoW. I really do. And you'll hear me say it a million times.
It's not unusual to see that the Cataclysm beat out Lynch King. Lynch King was the joke of the expansions when it comes to WoW.
No, the joke of
overpowered
expansions.
class in there.
Well, I think the kicker was I heard a lot of people say they quit playing after Burning Crusades. Burning Crusades did some shit that made people go fuck it. So.
The only thing that everyone that wanted Wrath for was the Death Knight.
Yeah.
It's like level 55, you make a Death Knight. You know, which I have a Death Knight, and it's level 80, it's maxed out. And, you know, I had fun leveling it, but I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, Death Knight's the way to go, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That's only a one-time deal on per realm, and I would not re-level a Death Knight ever again.
So... yeah, well, enough with WoW. Let's move on to a new game coming out here soon. Stacy, over to your story. What do you got for us?
Alright, we have Terra, which actually does not have a release date yet. It is actually in its third beta.
Okay.
It is to come out next year for right now, but you know how that goes. I actually did a lot of YouTube research on it, and it's an action MMO. It actually doesn't have factions. It has 6 races. It has 8 classes. As far as what I saw, it was extremely lush. It was very nice to look at. The gameplay looks really good. And Adam, if you can find a video on it, sorry, I'm kind of off it. It's the first time I've actually had to use a pen and paper to do my notes. A 2-inch screen does not work when I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing.
Yeah, I can understand that completely.
Yeah, but honestly, if I had to relate it, I think it's the Baracas that look like the Galkas on Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I've seen those.
It actually resembles Final Fantasy, and what they're doing is the races actually all work together. I mean, there's a bunch of reading on it. I know that they do have mounts in that game, thank God, at level 25. But as far as anybody that's played it, I mean, it's got really good graphics. The character customization is alright. It's not as extreme as some that I've played, but better than WoW.
But any character customization
welcome to
the
the Bash WoW Hour.
I'll give you that.
I'm sorry.
I think that's why WoW works so well. But keep talking. I'm going to show the video while you're talking. So.
Oh no! Go ahead and show the video.
Oh no! I mean, I've got it going, so you can just keep talking about it. So.
All right. Well, anyways, it just deals basically. It kind of plays out like Final Fantasy, except for the fact, it's not going to take you stand there for hours looking for groups. You can solo. They've got guilds. I mean, a lot of what I've read, it looks really, really good. And I mean, I've been watching it since, I think, the first beta for it. But as far as everything goes, I mean, it has more classes, it has more races, you can go between, and instead of being PvP, it's actually, everybody working together towards one thing, which is, I honestly haven't really seen since Final Fantasy 11. Usually everything is PvP based now.
Hell yeah, that's what it should be.
Oh, well, no, don't get me wrong. I love the PvP. I really do. But, it's also nice for a change in gears for MMOs.
Right. Well, they have PvP in it. I've seen PvP a little bit.
Yeah.
But I haven't got to see too much on it. So it's not really, it's not one faction versus another faction, anything like that. So. Right.
They're basically all fighting for the same thing. But, I mean, that's as far as I've heard about it so far. I mean, you can get on their site. They actually have the Terra site up. They have tons of screenshots, videos. It just looks good. So, and it's one of those games where graphics do matter to me. Yeah. Graphics matter. If it can't pull me in just by looking at it, then I'm not going to stay.
Now, the big thing is that it is live action, so you actually have to use your mouse and actually point around at the screen. It's kind of like a first-person, third-person shooter, kind of. So you actually have to go through and have to, point around to target stuff. I do know that. I do know that these are the people, I can't remember the studio that makes it, but I know NCSoft is in a battle with them legally, saying that this was going to be Lineage 3. This was going to be the engine for Lineage 3, and they stole the technology away from them. So, and the guys who were making it left.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Dang.
So, there you go. But, I mean, it's going to be released here soon, so we'll see how well it works.
Yeah.
But
I will definitely be testing it out.
So, there you go. Terra, and not the girl.
Man, speaking of testing,
yes,
I am sitting here just registering for betas left and right because I want to try anything and everything.
Which you should.
I know.
You should try everything and anything, as always. So, there you go. Well, the funny thing is honestly, that really ties into the next story that I want to get into. I want to get into a little bit of what MMO are you mostly pumped for? And so, this is my list that I went online with, and I went through and checked out, MMORPG.com, and we're going through and seeing, basically a rating system of what people are kind of pumped for, the hype meter, pretty much. Number 1 on their list is, guess what? Oh, wait. Let me see here. A couple of people have typed it in the chat. It's Guild Wars 2. It's the number 1. So it's going to be the new addition to Guild Wars. A lot of people are all for it. It will be a MMO with no subscription base to it. It'll be you buy the game, you're playing the game. There you go. No subscription base. And it's a MMO. So, number 2 on there is the game that I am in love with that is going to be coming out here shortly. It's going to be a little bit of Rift. So, yeah, I cannot wait for that game. Cannot wait for it. Number 3 on the list is your game, Stacy, which is Terra. Number 4.
Wait, no, don't say number 4.
Number 4 is what?
No. It does not deserve a number 4 on this list.
What does it deserve? More?
No, it deserves nothing.
It's still
no one should be pumped about this.
All right, Star Wars Old Republic, a lot of people are pumped about it because BioWare is making the game, and it's the most expensive MMO ever made, but yet I think it's going to be the biggest flop ever. Number 5 is going to be The Secret World, which is basically, it kind of reminds me of an old game that I had for, I'm thinking it was Xbox, where it was the real world, but yet you had people that were trying to kill off demons from the real world, and I can't remember what the fuck that was called. But, pretty much, that's what this game is. It's basically real world, and demons are trying to get into the world, and you're basically fighting them off. There's vampires in it, there's also werewolves, and all kinds of other stuff. So, there you go. Number 6 on the list is going to be DC Universe Online, which we talked about earlier. That's number 6.
That deserves a better one. Oh my god.
Number 7 is Blade and Soul, which is supposed to be more of a action-based game, kind of like Victus was. So, we'll see what happens there. Another one on the list that did not make it to the top 7 was Battlestar Galactica Online, which is going to be a browser-based Battlestar Galactica online game. Another one is Earthrise, which I'm kind of actually pumped about. I want to see how it goes. It might be, actually, in the chat to answer some questions. They were asking, is Blade and Soul actually a huge PvP, isn't it? Well, you know what? There's only one way to find out. Let's click the damn thing, and let's find out. Let's see here. Monthly fee is, yes, it does have PvP. Is a martial arts style based fantasy game from NCSoft, the development team behind Lineage 2, stylization and characterization, blah blah. Oriental inspired martial arts and fantasy. Features lush environments, gameplay, and borrows some elements of fighting, platforming, and even tosses in a few puzzles. So there you go. Give you a little screenshot of it there. What it looks like. Yeah, you can definitely tell the art is kind of a little bit of Lineage.
So apparently, The Secret World is going to be a PC and 360.
Supposedly. Hasn't said yet, but supposedly.
No, it's just a forum. Mother of God. But
Yep.
there's a beta
So,
sign up.
There you go. So, I mean, it looks pretty decent. We'll see. And another one is Earthrise, which is supposed to be a game where the Earth has fallen from an apocalypse, pretty much, and it's rebuilt itself up. And it's supposed to be kind of a futuristic game. Kind of pumped to see how that works. So, we'll see how that is. And another one is Black Prophecy. Has also been announced that it's kind of going to be like an EVE Online in space. So it looks pretty decent. If you haven't seen that, go search up Black Prophecy. So Raji is also doing the show notes live at .riotnetwork.tv. He'll post all the games in there, and you can just click on the game and be able to go to the link to check it out. So moving on to Raji's next story. Raji, there's a game that you want to talk about, and what is it?
There's a game that I really